What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross Present the Yeah, I Said It podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities to live one of the correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child. I'm the dad half of this operation coming into you live and in public, if you will. Ross Cooper, as always, I am rocking with the best. My co host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, month, year, hour, second, minute, that good stuff. And if you're watching on other platforms, please share it with your friends, your family, your enemies, your pets, the bug on the wall, the aliens outside, the mail that didn't come, the scrape on your car, your flat tire, all types of stuff. Share it with all. Your local mechanic, your teacher, your, your ex, whoever. All right. And if you're watching on it too, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Because if you don't, you're gonna get a late text.
Really, yo, yeah, especially share with the aliens, yo. If the aliens do show up, like,
They
yo, fam,
already
check this
here.
out.
I'm
I
Team
mean,
Alien. What's up? Just don't probe me.
gosh,
I don't want no problem. I don't want to be probed. That's the
it's like that. It's like that meme I sent you. It's gonna be wild. And they like, we're gonna overthrow your government. And we're like, oh, word.
Ooh, what do you
Let
need?
me, let me show you. Let me take you there, Chief.
I
Can I
can
get
show
one?
where to go.
Can I get one of them blasters too? You know what I mean? We can do this together, fam.
For real. This is reverse resistance. Like we fighting together.
Like, word. We down. We with the shits. We down with the rebellion. Let's go. So yeah, we're gonna start with a bit of good news. Even though certain people don't think it's good news, we're going to start off with a little bit of good news because I'm
You
always
say it's
about.
gonna get.
Oh, okay. You act like it wasn't good news.
Like I said, it was good news. I just said it was makeup. But go ahead and finish what you're saying. I'll say my piece when you're done.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to start off with some good news. Um, Trying to get exactly if I can see the city because the fact that it's Georgia outside of Atlanta is enough. Um, but Officer Coleman happens to be a gamer himself, so that kind of explains this. Um, the Hateville or Hatville Police Department looks like now, and this is interesting, and this see this is that shit, and this is why I get back to you about this could have went way different. Apparently, a young black boy was trying to do his thing to save up for a gaming system. He was offered to do yard work, cut grass, legit old fashioned way, right? Um, Apparently, some folk had an issue with him going door to door asking so on and so forth. So what happened was this year, Officer Collin, I'm sorry, Officer Collin and some friends were able to not only get this young man a video game system, but get him a gift card to pay for the membership for PlayStation Online, PS5. So young black kid looking to do things the old fashioned way, earn some money to get a gaming system. Apparently the officer was called that, for some odd reason, wonder why. Georgia, where running while black can get you hunted down. Words of Maud Aubrey. But no, this officer decided to surprise this young man with a PlayStation 5. Took a collection amongst the other officers, brand new PlayStation 5, and paying for a PS network. I have long standing issues with law enforcement. We all know this if you follow this podcast. I have legitimate long standing issues, as anyone who understands history would with law enforcement. I think their importance is vastly overblown, right? This is Georgia. Let's be real. Outside of Atlanta, one of the racist states in the union, and this could have went way left. So, as always, as I did the off-duty officer in the shooting in Texas a few months ago, I give credit where credit is due. If something good comes across my quote unquote desk, I want to highlight that as well. So shout out to this officer for not only not making this go way left, but getting this young man what he was looking for and paying for his online network. Hey, I'm a gamer, you're a gamer. Certain things supersede race. A lot should, but certain things do. Hey, you a gamer, I'm a gamer. Let's game. You lift
No,
weight,
that's
I lift.
yeah, I don't know about that.
You
Go ahead.
lift weight. You lift weight, I lift weight. Let's go to the gym. Yeah, I mean, you rap, I rap. Let's get to the studio.
Hmm.
Okay, okay, Mr. Wet Blanket, take it away. Take it
That's
away.
no, that sounds good. Like I said, you don't game online, I do. So there's a way more racist shit on there than you would ever believe. But like I said, I'll give him props. Good job. I mean, you want a cookie? I mean, that's some nice makeup you got on. But at the end of the day, put makeup on a pig, what is it still at the end of the day? Pig. So it might look good or look better than it usually does because you put makeup on it, but you still are what you are. So I give you props. Thank you, makeup pig. Your service
What it,
is still unneeded, but I appreciate you for not making it go left and doing your fucking job. Yeah, there you go.
what did we learn from Peter Parker or Superman? I forgot. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, and usually it's the opposite. So when it's a breath of fresh air, it's like putting a mint on, even though you didn't brush your teeth in 2 weeks. It smells kind of right, and then you open your mouth, and then you're like, all right, So yeah,
All
like
of
I said, this is just
so
typical cycle shit. Is basically when they fuck up a lot, you'll start hearing the good stories. All the good they do. Oh wow, look at this. They help this black kid. And ironic, it's always the black kids they're helping first. That's the one we highlight. I'm not saying that's the problem. What I'm saying to get what I'm saying is for the cycle of the bullshit, they will find a black kid, do something good for them, and then go right back to being on the bullshit. This is why RoboCop needs to happen. I was strongly against it, but now the world's fucked anyway. So you know what? Bring them on. Come on. It couldn't be
this
worse. It couldn't. Well, it could, but
I
I wouldn't
I
really
got
care.
I got bad news for you, sir. This is literally
RoboCop.
an example of not all cops are bad. This is
Yeah,
literally
that you're
that.
proving my. That's what I said. You're proving my point. They do this in sprinkles. We highlight this shit to assess all the bullshit they've done from this year alone. I guarantee you the bullshit way more outweighs the good shit that just happened. I promise you it does. I'm not falling for it. I will give props to certain circumstances. I will give props to them. Yes, that's why I said makeup on a pig. Good for you. You look good for once. Pause. But now you jumped in the pool, the makeup's gone. You're still a pig. So yeah, you're not fooling me with all this feel good bullshit that you do. You sprinkle in every once in a while to prove the point to all the motherfuckers. They be like, all cops are bad. It's just a few bad apples. No, the few good apples. That's you got it flipped. It's a few good apples and a whole lot of bullshit and rotten ones. Now, if people were honest like that, I wouldn't have a problem. But we'd be lying to ourselves and saying that it's just a few bad apples when the whole tree is dying.
No, that's the other problem too. Like the
That's my
notion of
problem. I'm not mad off if I'm hoping he did, like I said, good for him. There should be more like this, but there isn't. That is my issue. This is why I'm not gonna gawk on them doing something good for once. No. This is the rare. The others, if going left is the normal, especially for us. So the fact that it didn't go left because some Karen called the cops because a little kid is literally trying to service y'all for some money to pay for a system. Like, is that worth calling the cops? Just say no, no, thank you. Close the door and you move on his way. Unless you were just sitting there knocking for 20,000 times and still trying to plead for you to do it, which I don't think he was. and that's not warrants a police call because that even I don't even know if they subconsciously think this, but that could have been a death sentence. You sentence that kid to die over some lawn to earn an honest living.
Okay,
So I'm like,
so
you call the cops if we felt sell drugs and shit to get the other way, but you want to call the cops because I'm asking to mow your lawn for money and all that shit politely? It's like, what am I supposed to do?
you gonna make me do this. I hate you gonna make me do this. Jesus, I hate you gonna make me do this. Listen, this one supersedes race. Okay, this is class. Here's what I mean. If you live in certain neighborhoods in certain income brackets, odds are kind of know your neighbors. So if I got somebody that looks a little fishy or I ain't seen going door to door, knocking on doors, right? How do I know you're not actually casing the joint? How do I know you're not knocking to figure out who's home and who's not? It's not as far-fetched
No,
as
that's the
all think you
racial
think.
thing because if
No,
it was a white
I
kid,
said
if it was
I
a
think
white
I think
kid,
the exact same thing.
no, you
That's why I
wouldn't.
said
No, you
class.
wouldn't. That's a
That's
damn
why I
lie.
said
That is a
class.
lie. That is a lie. That's a lie. And you know it. Because you made the joke the other day about something I was wearing, the Scully, the Robin nigga. See, you wouldn't say that if I was white.
Yeah, I would.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
said
No,
class.
you no, you didn't. No, you
I
wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
literally.
You subconsciously know you wouldn't. Stop the cap. There's certain stippers that stick to us like fucking super glue for no reason. Shit, I even
Not
got the
wearing it.
fucking do-rag on. You probably say something to that. So like, yeah, come on. Nah, dog. Don't act like race is not a part of this shit.
I
Yes, it
said
is.
class, sir.
It's still race.
It's not.
Was it a
It's
black family
not.
called the cops? Who called the cops?
We don't know.
Hmm.
It doesn't list white
No, I
family
wonder
called the
why.
cop. It doesn't
I
say so.
wonder why. I wonder
All I know,
why. Oh.
usually black kid, certain neighborhood, white cop, this can go very, very wrong. And
Okay,
it
does he
didn't.
live around? If he's walking, does he live around the neighborhood? So if he lives around the neighborhood, what excuse you got now?
I'm playing with variables, so let me take a look. Let me
That's
take a look.
what I'm about to say. So if he lives around that neighborhood,
Okay,
what is your
so did I.
excuse? Because there's at that point it's not a class thing because they're all around the same tax bracket most likely. So yeah, not
I'm looking
everything
for
is
those.
race, but at this point in this
This
situation,
is
it definitely smells like it.
okay. Hold
Unless
on. This
other
is like a
details come
better.
out, see who the family
Oh
was
boy.
and where the boy lives. But
An
either
officer was
way,
called. An officer was called to remove a boy asking neighbors if he can do yard work. This is a little more detailed story.
okay, if it's asking neighbors, that means he lives around here, right?
Maybe not.
What do you mean
Apparently
maybe
not.
if
Why
it's
would
a
you remove
neighbor,
your
you live
neighbor?
around the way. So that actually answers the question. He lives around there. So what is your excuse now, buddy?
Officer Carlin was called to a community to remove the boy from the area. He was one to pull weed from hedges. Young man applied for so truthful. Okay. Yeah, see, they're not given certain details here. So they're
Hmm.
going, it's the feel good story. So apparently he couldn't have been a neighbor because you're not going to call the cops to get rid of your neighbor's kid.
Why not?
So maybe he walked,
Why
maybe he
not?
biked.
Why not?
Does that make any sense?
Does most of this shit make sense?
That's like,
Exactly.
okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
hold on, hold
Thank
on,
you.
hold on, hold on. Let's make it real. That's like where we used to live. If you knocked on Mr. Jack's door and a few other doors and somebody called to have you removed, they all freaking know you.
No, they don't. Pause. Two, it can happen. It doesn't matter. Like you keep thinking logically on some shit that you know that logic is not there. It's not present.
Hold on. The reason is this one is easy is because I have no fear of a kid I've seen in my neighborhood casing my house. You know what I do have fear of though? Some random kid in my neighborhood that I ain't never seen knocking on all the doors talking about I'm trying to do some yard work. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Now
This is how fucked
me,
up society is.
time
That's
out,
the first thought of your
time
mind.
out. Time out. Me personally, and see this is where honestly being really transparent, this is where race does supersede class. Because if it's a young brother out here trying to do something, me personally, knock on my door, what you need? Let's see if we can get you a GoFundMe. Let's see what else we can do. I'm not gonna have you out here knocking on these doors because I know how that might look. That's me personally. But clearly, wherever he was at, they wasn't feeling it. So they went as far as calling the cops to have him removed. Like you said, low key could have been a death sentence.
It was
Low
50.
key could have been a death sentence. So I am thankful that not only did this officer, and it's sad we got to do this at this point, not only did this officer not harass, shoot, kill this young brother, but actually came together, got him a gaming system, and got him a deal with the PlayStation Network. Yeah, I'm with it.
That's cool. I'm with it too. I never said I would. I'm just saying, before we start painting the picture, trying to tell a story that, that not all cops are bad. Bullshit. Most of them are.
No,
This is the rare.
I never,
This
I
is
never
the
tell that
rare.
story.
Hmm? I'm
I
not
would never
saying
tell
you.
that story.
I'm not saying you, even though you give them the tone that way. But I'm not saying you. I'm talking about the audience and people in general, because I know they're going to use this as an example. That is great. I wish more were like this. That is not the reality we live in. Nothing makes sense. You see how easy that shit is? You get called for something stupid, you figure it out, you ask the right questions, and then you handle it. It's not that hard. It's not.
Kind of like not killing black people at traffic stops. Oh wait,
It's
that seems
it's
to be
not that unless they're literally being hostile and literally for once, not because you said the shit, you fear for your life, then okay. Because there's certain examples when cops popped off, I didn't have a problem with it. You go back. I'm fair. Even though I hate them with all my life, I'm still fair. So I'm fair at this and say this is a good job, but you still makeup on a pig. And shit like this comes out every once in a while after they done so much bullshit.
Jesus.
This is it's like a cleanser. Like you just drinking some prune juice or whatever, and then you just cleansing your body all that filth and bacteria and all that shit just to add more. I guarantee you tomorrow by next week it's gonna be a couple more dead or harassment, all types of shit. Probably something happened today. I just didn't really look for it. Cause I'm tired of it. So yeah,
Okay.
my
Alrighty.
foot, the
So
rope is still on your necks, mother. But good job to the one piggy though. You got good makeup on. I'm proud of
I cannot. Jesus. Okay. Um.
you.
All right. So the next piece of this puzzle, we're going to take a trip from Georgia all the way up to where you're at in Baltimore. Um. Interesting thing here. Finally, at long last, the Henrietta Lacks family is going to has reached a settlement with a major pharmaceutical company. Real quick backstory for those who don't know who Henrietta Lacks is. Her cells were taken, and it's where they get the name HeLac cells from. Those cells have been used in so many medical treatments, so many cures. Now, here's the fun part. Um, they were taken without her permission. So there was never any compensation given. So there's finally been an undisclosed amount given to the descendants of Miss Henrietta Lacks. So I want to give that up. I really, they're not disclosing the amount, but I'll be honest, given everything that's been used, given how they've been used, and how many things have come from it, and they were taken out permission. Anything short of a Billy, to me, you got shortchanged.
You said a million. I was gonna say a couple of 100 million, but all right, there.
Nah, B, when you look at how much money the pharmaceutical, big pharma is, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. All right, a Billy. All right. I ride with it, but I'm almost 100% sure they didn't get that.
We don't know. Terms are undisclosed. We will never know.
They didn't get
But run the and cells were allegedly taken by none other than the good folks at Johns Hopkins Experiment Hospital Central. So yeah. But I'm happy with the settlement. I really hope it was a Billy. Like we said, not so sure it was, but here we are.
If, I don't really have much to say though.
I mean, that's huge though, man. Like this is writing. This is okay. The reason it's
Writing one
huge.
wrong out of many wrongs. I got you.
This one, we'll see. Here's the problem. This one can be proven, kind of, sort of, in the sense of you can clearly trace what was done, research, what medicines, what patents all these companies have used. You can actually kind of put a dollar on this because the reality of the situation is it is almost impossible to calculate reparations for slavery. It is almost impossible. This, this you can calculate.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's a lot of money. That's just they just say it's a lot of money. It's not in gold, it's just a lot of money that no one wants to pay.
Oh wait, you talking about reparations, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. But no, this is absolutely you can't calculate that. You can't calculate a repar. You can ballpark it, but
That's the point.
you can't really calculate a reparations number. Like,
It's gonna be a lot. That's the calculation.
mm, all right, but you can't really, But as far as Henrietta Lacks is concerned, all of these companies, big pharma, how they used it, cures, patents, that's all traceable. Anything less than a billy to me would be selling yourself short. I get it. Um, Sadly, that's been the case. Chicago PD and the FBI were proven to be involved in the assassination of Fred Hampton. His family settled out of court, I think, for something peanuts, essentially peanuts. You
Yeah.
literally caught the cops red fucking handed in a murder plot, and settlement was peanuts, right?
That's how it be.
King, FBI has something to do with that. Literally, another murder, basically an
If I
execution by
am
the U.S. government.
about to say murder, FBI has something to do with damn near everyone getting killed. Malcolm X, all of that. So
Yeah,
hey,
I'm just, so these settlements are peanuts, but this one had to be big. Was it
well,
a
we don't
Billy?
know.
I don't think it was a Billy, but
I don't
look,
think it's nowhere near as close to wherever you think it is. I don't think it is.
well, here's the thing. Here's the trick. Even if it is a Billy, it's still short. When you look at how HELAC cells have been used, even if it is a Billy, they should be Bill Gates rich based off how they use this black woman cells.
But they're not
Just like
going to.
we don't well,
We
we
would
don't know,
know.
so we
Nah,
gonna we gonna hope. It was not disclosed. Terms of it were not. It was not disclosed.
I doubt it. Just because I know how grimy the government and big pharma is. I doubt it. Hopefully they did. But that would mean that you were for once expecting to do the right thing. And like you just said, a lot of them were caught red-handed and still didn't really do the right thing. So it's like, or you putting faith in the quote unquote
Well,
facts, but there's sometimes in this world, and whoever holds the title, facts don't mean nothing either. Power does. So, okay, you took
well,
advantage
like,
of a couple M's. That's still generational wealth to a certain extent. And there you go. Go on with your
I,
day.
I was just gonna say the reason, if we want to look through that lens, the reason I don't think it would be problematic. Let's just hypothetically say I'm wrong and they got what they deserve, and there's something like $8 billion, right? The reason I don't think that would be problematic is twofold. One, again, we're talking about big pharma. What's 8 billion to this big machine? Nothing really, right? Two, it goes back to what you said and what a lot of people say. The system, quote unquote, has no issues with a couple of exceptions. The Jordans, the Jays, the Tyler Perrys. The system has no problem with a couple. That's why those quote unquote can get through. The system has a serious problem with the entire elevation of the race of the class. This is why the reparations conversation stalls.
Duh. Well, I mean, I thought that was kind of unspoken, but yes, you're correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
We're gonna keep it in Baltimore. This was a very interesting case, and I was curious to see how it would turn out. For those of you who are not familiar with Baltimore City, um, at certain areas, especially towards downtown, they have what are called the Squeegee Boys, group of young brothers who will like literally squeegee your windshield. You just give them a little change. From what I've heard, they've actually stepped their game up. You know, they've got Cash App now. You Cash App them a couple bucks, what have you. Depending on who you ask, they are just young enterprising brothers, or they're a total nuisance. Um, my personal encounters when I lived there, I never had an issue.
I think it's bad now.
Well, this might have a little something to do with it. Um,
I think they outlawed that a long time ago. But I think somebody got robbed or killed by one. That's why they put a law
look,
on to do it.
that
That was a while
that's
ago.
that's where we're going. Now, my personal contacts with them, again, I've been gone for the last 6 years, but the contacts I've had with them, if I didn't have change, I just roll my window down and be like, nah, I'm good, fam. And that's that. I mean, the story. Um, but this case, so I don't know how much race plays into this, but 48-year-old white guy got into a confrontation at the intersection of Light and Conway Streets. Now, this is important. The incident occurred one day before Scott's 15th birthday. This is 16-year-old Tavon Scott. Okay, 40-year-old guy gets out of his car, confronts the squeegee boy with a bat. Squeegee boy has a blicky on him, blast him, he's dead. So I was curious to see how this was go because it clearly seemed like I don't know, fam. On most accounts, if you come at me with a bat, I kind of have a right to defend myself.
Right.
Just saying.
But does he
Um,
own that gun? That's the problem because here is not gun
not
friendly
open,
either.
not open carry, right?
So that's what he might
So,
get got on.
so of course, the Scott family. I mean, not the Scott family. The Timothy Reynolds, the 48-year-old, his family wanted this young man to get murdered. Can't help but wonder if you know what, I can't say if this is racially motivated or not, but can't help but wonder because I'm like, if this is a 15-year-old white kid that did this, you still calling for murder?
Yeah,
But who
because you
knows?
still, I mean, you still killed him. That's the family. What would the family not do? I don't, that I don't think race has anything to do with it. I could be wrong, but dog, you just killed my family. At that point, I don't really care what race you are. Now, granted, I don't know
You
what was
gonna
said for the.
you gonna gloss over the fact that you pulled over, got out your car with a bat to confront this young man?
That's why I was getting to that. I'm saying, granted, I don't know what happened for to make the dude get out with a bat to confront a child, but here you go. Like I said, I don't fault the kid. I don't know what was said or done before, so I don't know. But just the situation which you just explained, him getting out with a bat to confront a child, I'm shooting too. That's self-defense,
So
in my opinion. I know the law's probably not gonna see it that way because it's like, what do you have a gun for, and yada yada yada, and all the other details. But law is
yeah,
bullshit anyway. But anyway, from the literal definition, that's self-defense, in my opinion. I'm sorry. You came at me,
okay.
not the other way around. If what you just said is true.
Well, this is still a problem because officially, conviction, voluntary manslaughter, use of a firearm in commission of a felony or crime of violence, possession of a firearm under the age of 21. He is now facing a total of 35 years in an adult prison. Remember that part where I said this happened a day before his 15th birthday?
Oh, because now he's 16, so they can charge him as an adult. Wow.
Uh, mm,
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know how this goes because
I mean, he's done for anyway, but yeah.
he was 14 when this happened.
I thought it was 16 you get charged. It was 15.
But see, now we go down that rabbit hole where we talk about who's more likely to be charged as an adult.
I mean, well, that is the race part, but I'm just saying the literal. I thought it was 16. I
And
don't
I'm
remember the
sh-
laws here. I thought it was 16, but if it's
I
15, that's fuck. Who we
he
putting
wasn't
kids in
he
adult
was
prisons?
he wasn't 15. He was 14.
Either way,
Four,
he's still a child. I'm sorry, you shouldn't go to
14,
no adult prison till you 18, bro. I'm sorry.
14 years and 364 days. It was the day before his 15th birthday.
But the
So I'm
charges are
just
being brought up while he's 15, which is probably why they're doing it.
I'm trying to figure out, you know, how that goes. But give me
35
one.
years.
And if you really think giving a 14-year-old or 15-year-old, as the case may be, 35 years in prison is a good idea, well, quite frankly, you're a part of the problem.
A
I
lot
was
of people do.
curious, and this was not easy. Literally, they said, now here's the thing: he did beat murder one and murder two. So he did beat murder one and murder two. Didn't find him guilty on that one, but he did get the manslaughter charge. Give me 1 second. Still here, just gotta make a quick adjustment. But yeah, he beat the murder one, he beat the murder two, which is important because other than that, now I'll be talking about. I know there's no death penalty, but now we'd be talking about, are you really going to give a 14-year-old life? And thankfully, we're not having that discussion.
35 years ain't no joke either. Most of your life is done. Although does this fool want to come approach me with a bet? So I said there's
I'm
no
like, what
fucking
is?
justice. I was like, what
Yeah,
what what is this? What am I supposed to do? He could have killed me. He had a weapon, a deadly one.
and this just leads to more uncomfortable questions. And what do we say time and time again is the biggest issue in this country? Poverty. Because you got to start asking, because the problem is someone's going to say, well, why would a 14-year-old have a gun? Exactly. Why? What conditions exist that make a 14-year-old need to have a pistol?
Where he lives. And considering I know where the Squeegee in the city, I would probably have a good too. If I was there. So yeah, hey, it's all right. No justice will be served in this. I already know.
I,
So
I hope he doesn't. I just hope he goes to juvie and can get house monitoring or something when he turns 18.
shouldn't get nothing. That's for
That's what his attorneys argue.
that's well, he shouldn't get nothing. That's pure self-defense. Unless it's another detail I'm not hearing. And yes, I'll be saying this for a white kid, any other race, I don't care. If an old dude older gentleman comes in and all you did was squeeze and he comes at you with a bat, you pull over and come at me with a bat. I'm a child. Oh yeah, nah. If he blast you, he blast you. It's your fault. This could have been avoided. You could have kept on driving. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, even if words were exchanged, that is a child. Keep
Because on the
driving.
because on the flip it is, what if he had no weapon? What would you gonna do? Run up on a kid with a bat
Yeah,
and do
that's
what?
that's my point. Like I said, if he didn't have the gun and you coming at him with a bat, because you pulled over, so clearly you're not gonna pull over, take out the bat, and approach me if you're not gonna do nothing. That would just be so stupid. You took time out your day to pull over to make sure you come to me. Pause. So it's like it could have ended bad either way.
Mm.
Unfortunately, we probably got the best results, but it might not be best for the kid.
Ugh. Yeah,
Justice.
this it's just I'm curious to
Justice. I
we're
love
gonna
it.
revisit this and take a look at the sentencing because I'm curious how this is gonna play out.
It's gonna be
Um,
bad. He's getting 15 to 20. One of those.
no, I
I
don't
guarantee you.
think literally the report says there were jurors that were crying on the way out, and one of them actually mouthed to the young man, "I'm sorry." So
Yeah, you're sorry, but you about to put me away.
no, that's on the judge. That's
Huh?
that's on the judge. That's on the judge.
Exactly.
That's
So if the judge wasn't crying, you don't give a fuck. Depending on the judge, oh, he definitely.
I just it's no this no no
Why are you
no
saying
you
no?
can't,
We've
no
seen
you
this story
can't.
many times. I hope it plays out because, like I said, I don't see him doing anything wrong. He shouldn't get anything.
You
Probably
shouldn't be
therapy.
14
That's
with
it. He should get therapy. That's what he should get. Therapy and whatever he needs to make sure. Because, like I said, you just took somebody out. Even in self defense, a lot of people, unless you just cold hearted like that, you that guy or gal, that's gonna shake you. So I think, yeah, send him to like psychiatric help and stuff like that. Not fucking prison, especially adult prison at 15.
you don't send a 15-year-old to Hagerstown. Like
And
you
this
don't
this
you
this
don't
is the
send a
problem with
15.
this system, bro. Y'all real comfortable putting kids in locking kids in cells. Y'all comfortable with that shit?
We talked
Did
about a couple
Jesus
pods
allow that
ago.
shit? Because if Jesus didn't, I bet you if Jesus came down and said right now this is not allowed, y'all probably change your tune, right? Motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, it's the same country that executed what Mr. Stinney. What was he 14? Put him in electric chair.
Well, that was a long
Or
time
actually,
ago when they
no,
did.
it wasn't even 14. I'm sorry, it wasn't even 14.
No,
If
he
I'm
was
not mistaken.
wasn't he 12,
Like right, something like
9 or
that. So
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, like
I just know
nine.
he was
So
small enough. They had to put books so he could sit on for the. I'm like, okay, we
right.
doing too
And
much.
and no one in that entire process thought, you know what, maybe this shit is inhumane. But
No, because it's black people. This is a people that thought black women couldn't feel no pain, just did all types of shit to them. They don't
I,
care.
I am gonna pay attention. I'm curious to how the sentencing in this goes. I'm really
Oh,
curious because I know
it's
what I'd
gonna go
like to
bad.
see. I'm going for what is he, 15 now? 16? No, 15, 51 to 16. I'm gonna go with juvie till 18 in probation. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I hope for nothing, but I know he's not gonna get nothing.
Yeah,
So realistically, I'm hoping for what you just said, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to get the 10 or 15 or more. Who knows? Baltimore might surprise me and just be on some shit like usual. So, hey,
you do live in a blue state, sir. So
I don't mean a goddamn thing. He don't. He don't. Cause then all the friends I got, the people I know that was locked up and all that shit, that don't mean shit. It sounds good, the whole blue and red shit. That's all farce anyway. This ain't a rainbow. We ain't eating Skittles, nigga. I don't care about that.
oh, I can tell you firsthand after watching enough crime shows. Where I live ain't the place where I live believes in that BS law and order, and they have laws in the books that say if you did it, and I'm kind of exaggerating, but kind of not. If you did some dirt and I knew about it, you get capital murder, so the fuck do I. Texas has got some weird ass laws in the book.
I
So
mean,
the
I
reason I
mean,
said
the
red and
laws are
blue,
different everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's probably still blue states that do that. I don't know the law in terms of accomplice here. I would have to ask either mother or somebody else about that. But either way, every state's law is different. No matter if it's red or blue. Doesn't matter. If they want to F you, they will. That's all that
we'll see.
matters. No
Like I
chance.
said, juvie till 18, hopefully probation, but we'll see.
That's not going to happen. But I hope so.
Excuse me. Moving from where you're at to Ohio, the kid from Akron, greatest of all time, greatest basketball player that's ever laced them up.
I know.
But we have Houston, we have a problem. So LeBron James has done one of the things that a lot of these athletes don't actually do. He actually created his own school. Um, always a high level of applause for that. To me, this is one of the places where when you really start talking about comparisons on who's going to be top five that are alive, this is what sends him to the stratosphere. His community service, his commitment to that. Now, here's where this gets very, I'll say, troubling. Per a report, and this isn't hyperbole, this is a legitimate report. Not, and I quote, and this is from coming from CBS Austin. Not a single eighth grader at LeBron James I Promise School in Akron, Ohio, has passed state math tests in 3 years.
Mm,
And this is statistically proven.
mm.
There's a shit ton of resources. And it's like, it's it's eyebrow raising.
How does
Again,
that
another
happen?
quote. For 3 years, not one child passed state test of math. Not one for 3 years. There's from school board member Valerie McKittrick, and this is review of test data. So somewhere along the line, they did mention the pandemic had played a part, and that makes sense because the pandemic is, ask any teacher, the pandemic set a lot of kids that were back even further back. But there's something seriously wrong here.
But okay, if it's 3 years, then actually I had to take that with a grain of salt because the pandemic started 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So technically, that's still a bad look no matter how you slice it. But technically, you have the pandemic excuse. Now that they're back, why don't you give another 3 years to see what's going on? Or hire some better teachers. What the hell's going on in that school?
Don't know. And I'm
School was trash anyway, so it ain't really matter.
And yeah, they're saying the board president is saying that the results do not match the amount of resources the school has at its disposal. Okay, so here's the thing. And again, certain things I just want to check the temperature on and see where they're at. Let me check the temperature. And I was wondering if I was going to try to use this as a way to throw darts, at the king. But come up the king, you best not miss. Um, Shout out to Michael K. Williams and Omar. But not that I've seen, I don't think this is something LeBron has his hands in day to day. I'm thinking this is probably a bigger shock to him as it is to everybody else. And I'm fairly sure he's going to get on top of that because this is a bad look. This is a bad look. But yeah, it's just wild. And again, it's LeBron. This isn't some school in the hood funded by property tax. You know what I mean? Because that's a huge deal too. But I'm sure we will not see this trend continue. But it's just a wild thing. Like, wow. So I'm sure LeBron's been on the phone, make some calls to whoever to get this thing straightened out. Um, before I move, any thoughts on this?
Nope, it's a bad look. Hopefully it
All right.
gets resolved.
And speaking of bad look and checking the temperature, we're not going to do a deep dive, but it is interesting. For those of you paying attention, there have been some very troubling accusations about Lizzo coming out. I, for one, am a Lizzo fan. I love what she stands for on so many levels. And right now, there's been some very troubling accusations. And see, the human reaction when the accusations are against people you like, the human reaction is like, I hope this isn't true. I'm not going to do that. I have to catch myself. What I really will say is this: I hope the truth comes out, whichever would be it favorable to her or not. I hope the truth comes out because I assure you, if what is being said is true, yeah, I'm off the Lizzo train, and I'm greatly disappointed. But these are some very disturbing allegations. Like it's literally going against everything she said she stood for. And this is one of those. This is a career killer. Like your best bet is to just go hang out with Candace Owens after this. That'll be about all you got. But because what did Ice Cube say? Be true to the game. You might have a heart attack when you find out that black folk don't want you back. Yeah, this is a career killer. This ain't no I'm sorry's, ain't no it's bad. So We spin the block later and see how this goes, but it's not looking. I won't can't say it's not looking good. I'll say the allegations are really, really bad. And I took a peek at her IG. She's not said anything and addressed anything. No word from a publicist, no nothing. So she's pretty much just chilling. This is looking like the Rock and the kidnapping thing. Like that just went away because it was so far fetched and like fuck out of here.
Nah,
But
this
this,
ain't far fetched because there's too many people involved, and yeah, this is because the other person that's being sued, her lead dancer, responded with the Jesus talk, which kind of makes it look worse because that's what they're accusing you of. So she
I didn't,
definitely did that shit. Now the Lizzo stuff, I don't know. It's not looking good for her.
I didn't see
And
that.
that's funny
But
that you said, I hope the truth comes out. Because every time I say that for against women or whatever your agenda is, I get the mean mug. But now you use it for Lizzo. Now it's, get out of here.
what the
One thing I forgot, you
what
capping
you
one
talking about?
time you ain't capped with a woman, man. Congratulations. Be unbiased for once. Even
Next
though
week,
I know that's your
see,
girl.
see, next week I'm gonna wear my Believe Women shirt just to remind you.
Go ahead. I, I'm not the audience you're trying to persuade that you're on their side. I don't care. I
You
keep it
should care.
fair. No, I don't. I keep it fair and objective. You don't. You play
What do you mean?
favorites. Yes, you
I
do.
did not play
You hate men.
favorites.
You love women. That's it. That's your thing. It is your
I
thing.
hate I
Yes, you
hate
do.
men, but I
You
but I
do.
have a son.
You hate men. You do.
But I have a son.
That
That doesn't even
don't
make
mean that
sense.
that does make sense. You just that's nepotism. That's it. Because
Viewers and
everyone else,
listeners, viewers
I
and listeners, are you hearing this? Are you hearing this blasphemy?
think you just listen to the old podcast and they see who you got the energy for and who you don't. You can just listen to the last episode. See how when and then go back listen to Jesse Smollett episode. See how different the tone and what he's saying is different. Just watch.
I was riding with Jussie. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Sure, your man cooked up this crazy story about the Nigerian Joker. I was
We
riding
was
with
making
Jussie.
fun of him. There's a difference. We wasn't riding with him. It was just so funny. You just had to. Because had all the things to make up two black jokers. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
sounds real believable. So yeah, you thought two Africans with white makeup on was two actual white people that you paid to beat you up.
I mean that's a lot different than Carly Russell. That was possible mental crisis.
That was even worse.
You got the dude from The Simpsons feeding you Cheez-Its. Like, yeah, we
That
went
that
way off.
I don't even know which story was worse. Nah, I go with hers because this is
But
really
my
because I'm just going off the statistics. There really is sisters. This is why I'm upset and why she needs to get more than just leeway. Um, there's actually real sisters being kidnapped and stuff, and it's being underreported. But you made national news and you lied about it, and it was calculated. It wasn't even you can't even say it was a mistake. It was planned. That's
it
what
was
made it even worse. And they
it was a
both planned
stupid
that dumbass shit. Like
yeah,
why?
it was a stupid plan. But yeah, she got arrested. She got charged with two misdemeanors. Y'all happy now? Y'all happy now? Everybody happy? Jeez, man, sisters can't catch a break, boy.
Yeah, the ones that do it to themselves, you goddamn right. The real ones ain't doing that. They don't have
Yeah,
to. Well, actually, the real ones might actually be getting kidnapped. That's the problem. That's what we're trying to fix. But
okay,
nah, we're just gonna make a mockery out of it and just this whole farce and just middle fingers to all the real victims. You fucking idiot. Either way,
okay.
but
But
either way,
moving
let's.
forward,
I
I'm
gotta
sorry.
say
Go
my
ahead.
losing part. All right. Either way, like I said, I just want, like I said, like I usually say stuff like this. We'll find out hopefully we find out the facts. I can't really trust a verdict, especially in civil court, because that don't mean nothing. So I don't know. Hopefully we get the truth. And if the truth comes out she's a piece of shit, then yeah, she's done. If the truth comes out that everyone else is lying on her, then they should be done. She probably gonna countersue, which would be smart. But either way, hopefully just get resolved so we all get the truth so we can all move on. And then I don't have to see no more fat jokes on Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah, I now I've seen both ends of it, man. I've seen it's a conspiracy. They trying to tear her down, and then I've seen I always knew she was, and I'm like, the reality situation is y'all don't know shit.
You don't.
But all this is doing is telling me what y'all think. Like, yeah, it's just wild, but yeah,
The people,
okay.
but you already knew the people that hated her before and then loved her before. It's the same people. They're all on the same sides. It's not like they switched up.
Oh, they did. It's a few people and this is the funny part, and this always happens. It's a few people jumping off the Lizzo train right now, right now.
They already felt that way. That's my point. Like I said, anytime Lizzo did anything, whether it was stupid, smart, whatever, brilliant, genius, whatever, you had the joke side, and the people just hated her. Then you had, the ultra positivity, you loved her side. Those two sides, from what I'm seeing, are still on their sides.
Mm.
It's the same thing with the
Okay.
Tory shit, the Megan stuff. It's like whoever hated or loved them, they're still going to be on that side. They're going to deny
Mm.
it till the wheels fall off, whatever the outcome is. Yeah.
Sadly, I heard he ain't doing too well. I'm like, oof.
Ooh, Tory?
Yeah, I heard he ain't doing too well in jail. I'm
Damn.
just,
Canadian cannoli, man.
and I mean, I understand why. Like, look, let me just look at it from a brother standpoint for a sec, right? The reality of the situation is you got so high on yourself. You rolling around with the hottest chicken rap, but still trying to holler at the homegirl. And you didn't think that was gonna go left. Not to mention, why are you carrying the blicky in a situation such as that? Like black man to black man, bruh, this had terrible written all over it. Chick you with, chick you trying to kind of slide at alcohol, maybe drugs, and a blicky. If that ain't a recipe for disaster, I don't know what is, dog.
That was a bad choice.
Like, fam, and you clearly must have been surrounded by just security and none of your homies. Because as a homie, man to man, I've been like, yo, dog, let me get the blicky.
That might not be it
Just
either, because they might just be yes men.
no, you drunk, y'all tripping, give me the blicky. So, because this is what homies do. This
You
is
shouldn't
what you
even
do
have the
for your
book. You
man.
have security. You're in
Black
LA, you're in Cali. They don't play that shit.
black men in rap. What can I tell you?
Like like I said, I can see if you solo don't, you have security. If they don't have one, then hire better security. So yeah, I wouldn't have one either.
It's
And then
just
yeah, me personally, I would not try to holler when the chick. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
mm-mm. Same
But
place, same time. We'd have cut
but
that
either way,
real
like I said,
short.
either way, even if he did that dumbass shit, and he hollered, make you gonna have to chill out too. Like I don't want you to go all crazy either. But either way, it's a
And I'm
stupid
it's
thing.
sad.
It's a stupid situation.
It's just I'm sad to see they're gonna make an example out of that brother because not sad to see because I'm riding with Tory, sad to see because this shit was avoidable.
Yep.
That's what I'm like, bro. We don't need no more black men in jail. None of that. And you pretty much just walk right
Special
in. You just pretty
stupid.
much open it, have the door open for him. But let me just throw myself in jail. Like, dog, y'all,
Gave
all
yourself
that
to slavery.
all that macho machismo, mode. Say what you will about Drake, wouldn't have been him. Like say what you will, but I always say The Rock, LeBron, but we being really real, Drake has done an amazing, given his level of exposure, Drake has done an amazing job avoiding bullshit. The only blip, if you will, is what Pusha caught him on when it looked like he was trying to hide his kid. But given his level of exposure, the shit he been in, none. He didn't avoid it. He didn't avoid it to fuck shit. You know. Mind you, he used to roll with Wayne and Nikki on a regular basis. Like they are, Nikki especially is a magnet for certain shit. So would have been Drake. Would have been Drake. But last thing we're going to touch on, and that's why it is fitting that I am in the Morpheus chair for this episode. What if I told you you were cloned and didn't know it? Netflix, They Cloned Tyrone with Jamie Foxx, which is weird because all of a sudden these Jamie Foxx is a clone conspiracy started floating around and there's drops. But top to bottom, I forgot it's a movie, so I still gotta rate it. Um, Given everything, I'm going 4.5, 4.5 scoops. I'm going 4.5 scoops. I think there are points where you can say Jamie's pimp character was just went a little overboard. And maybe that was the point, but overall, 4.5 scoops for me. 4.5 scoops for me. What's your rating?
Same. 4.5.
Yeah. So, spoiler alerts. If you don't want to know what we're talking about, you can stop here, come back in about 10, 15 minutes. But there's going to be spoilers in it. They Clone Tyrone is, I got to see who made it because I'm curious to have many other films. To me, it gave me, it's Jordan Peele Get Out adjacent. Like, it's not exactly the same, but
I
it's the
thought the
whole
same
thing
thing.
of, okay, it's what you're watching is like there's layers and levels to it. Jordan Peele's Get Out may never be duplicated ever because I don't know if we'll ever see another movie that made a joke so beautifully that the people that were the butt of the joke loved it. White folks love them some Get Out. And it's like, I do realize um this is in the same way. There's so many layers and levels to They Clone Tyrone. And it's pretty much a brother figuring out his whole life is just being Groundhog Day. And and he'll get killed and replaced with yet another clone. And he is almost like I can't even say an avatar, but he's a drug dealer. Fontaine's a drug dealer. Jamie Foxx plays a pimp. And it was another sister, Yo Yo, that was a quote unquote hoe.
Love
And
her.
yeah, she's a dope actress too. She's a dope
Yes, she
actress
is.
too.
It was great acting. It was a whole movie. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah,
you.
she's in that. She's in Candyman. She was in 12 O'Clock Boys. She's a
You like
good. Like, I
Candyman?
like. Mhm.
I need to watch Candyman. But I know she's in the Marvels and she was in WandaVision. So yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't see WandaVision. But I know she was in 12 O'Clock Boys. She played the mom. Um, yeah, I like to see more of her. Good stuff. Like her, Dom Fishback. There's a few other sisters just really killing it. I can't wait to see the next stuff that they're in. But yeah, they cloned Tyrone, and it was representative of, and it's like it's funny because I watched it. I just wanted to see, like I said, sometimes you check the temperature, and I can't believe I'm seeing so much of, oh, I didn't like this movie, it was whack, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy,
But
but it's like you are the clone. That's exactly it. You're the clone. You're the clone. That's why you hated it. You're the clone, and
it
and
just
it just
it,
it,
what if they got it just still didn't like and what?
then you're definitely a clone. You're definitely a clone. You're the reason why.
Wow, you're not
You're
allowed to like it even if you understood the movie. That's crazy.
you probably went right back to listening to trap music and eating fried chicken. Yeah, you're definitely the clone. You're the type if you're old enough. You're the type to probably watch The Matrix for the fight scenes and talk about I didn't get it.
I mean, those were some great fight scenes. So that I can't necessarily be upset about because a lot of people was confused. I was confused on the last one. I ain't gonna lie. The first two I got complete. The Revolution, I'm still confused. I don't know is he Jesus or not. I don't know. So I will have to. I've seen it like 10,000 times. And the last movie didn't kind of help with that. It kind of explained it, but it didn't. So I don't know. I don't know.
Fam,
Either way, back up
if
scale. I'm sorry.
if you watch if you watch Matrix Reloaded and you saw that conversation with the Merovingian and you saw that conversation with the architect at the end, and all you came away with was, yeah, that was some dope fight scenes.
I mean, you got the motorcycle scene. You got the Neo fighting the Smith clones. I mean, it was some crazy fight scenes in the movies. I can't even lie. Then, of course, the bullet time. Man, a lot of people really only know the Matrix from the fight scenes anyway, outside of the real story. So,
Choice is an illusion between those with power and those without. That is fucking
and that was
profound.
present in this movie. Ironic in parallels.
Oh shit. I
I was gonna make a Dark Knight reference, but you made a Matrix one, so that's even better. Good for you.
What's your Dark Knight reference? I didn't realize I didn't realize that applied to it. Wow.
That's
Continue.
what I said. Yeah, that's another syndrome. Now my Dark Knight versus was damn it. Like, oh yeah, it's part of the plan. Because you know how they were explaining that they had the clones play a specific role, so no one will notice. That's why I said, when the Joker was like, nobody panics. If a couple muggers do this, that, a couple drugs or a pimp do this and that, nobody panics. That's what normal is. So I can get away with doing all this experimental shit in the basement of the shit and making clones because they're still doing their job. That's part of society. They're still playing a part, just like the dude said that was kind of that made the clones or the original. I don't know if he was the original or the dude in LA was the original. I'm still kind of confused about that, but I'm assuming that maybe the LA dude was a clone too.
LA dude was that was Tyrone. We didn't meet quote unquote Tyrone to the end of the movie.
Okay, yeah,
That was
yeah, yeah.
Tyrone.
Yeah, okay, so that was Tyrone was the original, or he's a
No,
clone.
he was a clone too. He was a clone too.
So
And
the
didn't
old
realize
dude
it.
that died that got clapped was the original.
Yes.
So how do you clone a clone?
Once you do it once, you keep doing it.
So okay, I guess that makes sense.
Remember, they said the dude Kiefer Sutherland, interesting to see Kiefer Sutherland in there. But Kiefer Sutherland was explaining like we're in everywhere, we're in every major city. Like so, and it was interesting too. It's just so many layers and the way my mind works. You know what I found interesting? Little things. The city we're looking at is in the South, in the trap. I've always said, how dumb are we
That's a
to
trap.
literally worship something called the trap? It's literally called a fucking trap.
That's why that's why I said this movie is a walking double entendre. He's in the trap. Yeah, in the trap, but you're literally trapped. You're stuck. And they're keeping you that way on purpose. And
Now let
then
me look.
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me ask you something because there's one thing I didn't get, and I've read some very interesting takes on it. I'm curious to yours. Why do you think the mom? What was the point or the message to the mom being fake? Like I couldn't quite put together. I've heard some very interesting theories.
I get that. Because there's no father around, that will put the stereotype, because we
Right.
noticed that. But the mom is around, but she's in her room. That kind of fits. So I kind of get he doesn't really go. One, he's a clone, so he never really had to use. Because once I figured out that she was giving the same answers before they even did the reveal, I was like, she ain't right. She
Really,
ain't
you
right.
caught that?
Yeah, because there's no way she's giving the damn near same response. She's never hungry. He never walks in on purpose. Well, not really on purpose, but I think that's by design. So they won't know that this is a recording, this is fake. It keeps the facade going, and she's coming up with some good, typical black mom excuses. So like, hey, it makes
Hmm.
sense. It keeps him home. It keeps him realize that nothing's out of the ordinary. Until he figured out, woke up from the matrix and walked in. It's like, okay, this everything's fake. Everything.
And and see, it's that interesting dynamic between black moms and their sons. He would never leave or aspire to do anything bigger or greater because I gotta take care of my moms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's it. That's the tool. She is the thing that's keeping him there. And once he found out that she wasn't real, that's when he flipped back. It's like, all right, nah, fuck. I mean, F it. Let's get the whole hood together and we gonna go. Like I said, I love how they got the unity of the whole hood to get this thing done. I know I kind of seen that coming, but wish I could have real life. But um, yeah, like I said, the most troubling thing, and this was a double, and the biggest middle finger to not just even white people, but mostly ourselves, was when the dude that created all that, the clones and all that, was like, yeah, it's better to assimilate than to be annihilated. So you thought, because your brother got killed by some racist cop, and they didn't care about his body, that we're gonna make clones, but we're doing this so we can turn every black person white. I swear, when I heard that, I paused it and I wanted to punch my TV. But then I really thought about it, it's like there's mad people that think like that. We probably even know some people that think like that. I know I do, or at least used to.
Shit, what about Jay-Z?
Huh?
I hate to make him the poster child, but as you and I have always said, there are people
Stephen
who
A.
want
With him
to
in
bend, stop it, who want to bend the system to their will, and there are those who want to destroy the system.
the
And
cats.
depends
So
on which day, depend on which day of the week, which side of that coin does Jay-Z land on? I hate to keep using him as the poster child, but that's the biggest obvious, you know. Um, I thought there were a couple scenes. That was one of them at the end. I thought there were a couple other scenes. The most powerful scene to me, and it might be another one of those. If you ain't of a certain mindset, you might not catch it. The most powerful scene, two of them actually, but the first most powerful scene was right outside the club when they figured out the fail when he introduced them to the fail safe, and no matter what, he could say something and control Fontaine. And then he admitted there were. Did you catch it? There were no black women clones per se. There were no black women clones. Sound like Dr. Umar right now. But remember, he said she's not a clone. But because he could control Fontaine, he could control her.
yeah, they're basically saying, well, actually, they didn't even they actually said it. He said it when he figured us like, so we're clones. We're here to be destructive in this trap because of us. It's because of us. Why everything around us, why the trap is like this, because of us. This was the plan. This is how we're needed. We have to keep the cycle going. That's on us. He said that. Yeah, they had a self-reflection, like, damn. So we don't even need to clone women because we're going to control them to do what we need them to do anyway.
Mm,
So it's like,
yeah,
so yeah, I caught that. I thought I saw a girl clone at the end. Maybe I didn't. Okay, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it wasn't. I know the sister wasn't a clone, but I
yeah.
thought when they
Yo-Yo
walked
wasn't a
out
clone.
that there was a woman one.
Hmm.
Maybe I had to go back and look. Maybe I was tripping.
No, you're right. You're right. But I just thought it was powerful that this system, and I won't necessarily say the white man or the man, but this system that happens to be largely controlled by white men has so much control over brothers that you can convince this brother to kill his sister or himself. And then the other part that I found interesting is after that, when they went back, Yo-Yo was trying to tell his brother, like, yo, what we gonna do?
You want
And
to
he's
do
like, fuck it. We're gonna go back to normal. And I'm like, sadly, how typical is that? Well, you got the sister that's a certain mindset. We can do this. We can do something about it. And the brother's like, nah, we good. We just gonna keep shit the same. Like, that's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, but
That's
also the context. She's not a clone that has quote unquote free will. He doesn't. So
but
probably
he
I
fought
could,
the Matrix.
but he still was being controlled. All like I said, if I'm fighting the enemy, all they have to do is say the magic word, I am completely lose control that he can have me do anything that in his power. So how do you fight that? Now we saw that in how he fought, but I'm just saying at that moment, right after you basically almost had you kill your friend and yourself without dude even moving a finger, it's like damn. And then of course it's a self-reflection. It's like I'm really insignificant and just poison to my own people and neighborhood.
Right.
That's all they see me as. So it's like that would be depressing. My whole
Mhm,
life is a lie. I'm literal
mhm.
poison to my own people. What am I supposed to do? Now, granted, it was to see that his mom was fake for him to flip, but at that moment, I don't blame him. That's the human thought. Like, if that happened to me, I would think the same thing. Like, nah, fuck it. I'm going back. And then maybe, like I said, just like him, eventually you have a change hearts. You know what? If my life's insignificant, I'm a clone anyway. And then if I'm going to die, I might as well die trying to feed my
That'd be for
people.
something.
Right.
Right. Let it be for
But,
something. Right.
but yeah, it was a real movie. It was real. It painted a picture on society. And see all the tools. This is where the black culture shit. I'm surprised you didn't touch on that. I don't know if you're going to. This is where the black culture shit got toxic. Because think about all the shit that they put the chemicals in. That's part of the culture. Music. They use music to trigger people. They use fried chicken. They use hair products in your hairdresser. They use all the stuff that they know that black people do and the genres they do to use it to control you.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that sounds real realistic. Especially the music part. Now the chicken and the hair products, I'm not so sure. Probably
I
maybe.
mean,
But
if
but the music, because think about all the shit they promote now with the women rap and the men rap. Men rap, killing drug, blah blah blah. Women rap, tricking, blah blah blah. Like all the stuff that no one wants to be. But yet, all these trash motherfuckers are on the forefront and getting the hype and getting the attention. No
mhm,
skill, no talent whatsoever. Just pour,
mhm.
just negativity for the forefront. So this is what the younger generation is going to hear. This is what we're all, and this is what people who might not be around black people, be in a bubble, will think of us. So it's like, damn,
Yeah,
that's real right there.
and some of it was so obvious, like the fried chicken.
They making fun of the
Uh,
culture, literally.
right. That was so obvious. The fried chicken, the perm. It's been noted that the chemicals in perms, but going back to conks, it's been noted that that's bad for you.
Yeah, I'm still
Um,
doing
but as a man, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and preach to the sisters. If you, for whatever reason, you want to straighten your shit out, you don't have to use perm anymore. You can actually just use a flat iron. So you don't have to use the chemicals. Um, what sisters have to endure or used to have to endure in the workplace, or in some cases still do. Again, assimilation is better than annihilation. Once it wasn't that long ago, you
no.
couldn't come into the workplace with your natural hair out as a sister. So I get it. But yeah, the fried chicken commercial was just super over the top. Jamie Foxx's pimp character, super over the top. And I had somebody say, "Well, I like the movie, I just didn't like the delivery." I'm like, but that was part of the point. Like, if you go back to Baby Boy, if you ever hear John Singleton talk about it, he said it was supposed to be overly ghetto, overly tacky. That was the point. Like Jody and Snoop's character, it was supposed to be super dramatic and hood and all that. That was the point of it. And this, I think, is in the same vein. It's supposed to be a certain way.
Yeah, they're playing a part. They're playing a role, like literally, metaphorically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it, for that system to work, for the plan, the experiment to work, we need all the players to do what they do. And this is what I guess white people think the players they do actually do. So there you go. And no one
And I,
really panicked.
and in the midst of everything, in the midst of Jamie Foxx and everything else, I gotta give some props to John Boyega. Like, he is one hell of an actor. I didn't
All
know who
three
he
of them
was.
are.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was before he was Finn in Star Wars,
I didn't either.
and he's got no problem talking about, I'm a black man, I like black women in the story. We blackity black over here.
Well, that's what.
Right. I fucked with John Boy, and I wasn't sure once he went super blickety black. I'm like, oh, this how you get yourself blackballed out of Hollywood, my man.
No.
You good. You good.
There's just certain
But
black directors that's going that are popping right now, like Jordan Peele's, the brother that did Black Panther, stuff like that. that
Ryan
will
Coogler.
find a spot for him.
Hmm.
So, and plus he's good. So it's like, yeah, I mean, talent wise, he up there.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. So he did a hell of because I didn't even recognize him at first. Like, oh shit, that's John Boyega. Like he bodied that role. 'Cause you gotta remember, he's a British dude. He's like Idris Elba. He's actually a British dude.
Most of the actors we know are Brits or Australian. So
Oh, Michael B. Jordan is homegrown, dog.
Idris, there's a lot of actors that we think
Yes.
they're Brits or
Yeah,
Australian.
Daniel Kaluuya. You know, yeah,
Damon
but
Idris, the dude that plays Brit. Like it's a lot of Brits. I you just talking about black. I'm just talking about the big name actors in general, white, black, and different. Most of
oh
them
yeah, no,
overseas.
no. I'm just thinking about you. You a British dude, and you embody fully a Southern trap drug dealer with gold fronts and all. Like that's because you got no context for that.
That's
You see what I'm
art.
saying?
It's art.
It
You do
is.
your homework and you do what you do. You know, like I said, that's why I respect artists and true skill and talent, no matter what it is. That's why I get mad at this hip hop shit because it's like the skill is gone. It's just I don't even know what it is.
They went to the
Like I
South.
said,
Oh, sorry.
I mean, there's some talented people. You still got J. Cole and all the other people, but I don't know what. It's like I said, the skill is not being pushed. This bullshit is being pushed. That is my
Right,
issue. Now, granted,
right.
I don't have to listen to it, which I don't. So that's why I'm not completely upset. But in terms of just how it makes us look and the you yada yada yada, it's like I understand why they're pushing stuff like this. I know why. I just don't understand why the artists and we don't understand that why they're pushing this. I don't understand. There should be a bigger outcry. But no, I know we gotta support black people even when they're doing dumb shit and bringing us
Mm.
back. I
They
know,
they they
but you
cloned
don't support
Tyrone.
the people doing the good shit. You support the bad shit. That's the shit that pisses me off about my own people. But
Mm-hmm.
one day we'll learn. Maybe not. It might be too late. Who cares? Either way, go get your money. Even if it's dirty money and you're costing us a whole bunch of shit. But go ahead. I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of you. Being trash.
But but yeah, great movie. Definitely check it out. If you check it out and don't like it or don't get it, that lets me know a lot about you, and we probably can't be cool. No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
AJ
But
Smith.
run it back. Recap here. Um, let's start from the top. Shout out to the officer in Georgia. Again, I could have went a lot different. It didn't. We actually got a happy ending. And let's be real, more often than not, we don't. Um, Shout out to the family members, the descendants of Henrietta Lacks, getting that settlement. I hope you are $1 billion richer at least. Um, Sad day in Baltimore when this young man gets convicted of voluntary manslaughter and is facing 35 years. I'm hopeful for, as I said, juvie till 18 and maybe some home monitoring. That's my legit hope. It's a sad thing this all happened. As far as LeBron's school, I'm sure it's not going to be the case for much longer. You didn't start. He didn't start the school for these kind of results. Things happen. I don't think he's sitting there day to day like what's going on with the scores. So somebody dropped the ball, and if we know LeBron, anything about LeBron, he doesn't settle for less than excellence. So yeah, somebody's head's about to roll. Lizzo, I barely have anything to say. This looks bad, and when the truth comes out, we gonna see. But it looks bad right now. And lastly, They Cloned Tyrone. Great movie. Um, Top notch to me, top notch acting all the way around. Amazing message, amazing layers and levels to it. If you got it, great. If you didn't get it, sucks to be you. Your recap, sir.
Kyle Given, good job. Iggy with makeup. Congratulations. Um, the Henrietta settlement. I don't know what was disclosed. I'm pretty sure it was way undervalued, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But just knowing how grimy U.S. government and Big Pharma is, I would not be shocked if they got way under that. Squeegee boy, yeah, he should be free, my man. This is one of them times where saying free actually means you should be free, not when you like light up a whole block and then we still saying free. So yeah, free him. It was self-defense, unless some new details come out that I was not told. Other than that, if it's what you said was free that man, he does nothing. But realistically, he's probably doing 10 to 15, if not more, because that's what happened. Throw people in cages, even for defending themselves. Um, LeBron James. Yeah, what we doing at this point, man? Like I said, I agree with you. I don't think he's the day-to-day person. He got a million other businesses and things to do, including his son. Quick speedy recovery.
Yeah.
We did not touch that. I'm surprised. Maybe next time. But They Cloned Tyrone. Good movie. 4.5 scoops. A lot of layers to it. It was enjoyable. And Lizzo, and the irony with everything she's accused of is dwelling. That's why it's kind of hard to believe, but then it's not because, like I said, I'm not part of the celebrity worship shit, so I don't really have quote unquote favorites like that. I have no allegiance to nobody for real. Or at least all of them are dead. So yeah. So for her case, I hope not, because that would be a career killer. But if you did do that, you need to pay. Then your career is over. And I don't even think Candace Owens can save your ass. So yeah, it's bad. So yeah, the irony. I hope you're not the exact opposite of what you try to be, but that's a lot of people, you know. You put on a mask just for the public and then do some crazy stuff behind the scenes. But hey, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully. Maybe not. I don't know. So yeah.
But and we didn't touch Bronny. I mean, I'm glad he's healthy. Okay, I don't touch stuff like that one because the problem is right now, anytime something like this happens, the first thing out people's mouths is it was a jab, it was a jab, it was a jab. And I'm like, you literally don't know. And
I don't.
and at this juncture, the reality situation is look, like, because and like I said, on a very basic level, when we talked about this way back when, my biggest concern was what? You can't undo it. Once it's in you, it's in you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And that's what I'm like, well, there's no point. What's jab, jab, jab? You can't undo it at this point. So now all we can do is hope everybody's okay. Like at the end of the day, like all I can do, like if you take it, then I hope you're okay. I hope the people who went down the rabbit hole are wrong. There are some very interesting stats out there that depending on how you look at it, is incontrovertible proof that hey, this might be a thing to look into. But
Oh, it is. But
I'm glad Bronny's okay. I hope he can finishes or start his basketball career. Heck, Damar Hamlin is back playing football.
that was a free accident.
Wow,
That was a free accident.
it was. It was a 1 in a million billion chance.
So, because like I
But
said, I doubt that will happen again, but you never know. But yeah, I don't really care if Bronny plays another dribble again. Just want him to be healthy,
yeah,
like any athlete. So yeah,
but well, on behalf of myself, my amazing co-host, oh man, it's been a great show. If you haven't watched it yet, again, please go watch They Cloned Tyrone. Hit us in the comments, let us know what you think. If you say something goofy, I'm gonna tell you something goofy back. I'm kidding. But um, behalf of myself, my co-host, and yeah, I said it podcast. Peace.
yeah.